Thanks for staying with us. I'm Laura Ingram, in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the personal story segment tonight, implementing ObamaCare has been pretty much a train wreck for the administration. But Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks says not to worry, even the Constitution had its problems.
When Social Security first came out, people didn't understand that completely. And when Medicare came out, people didn't understand that completely. But over time, we developed it and we got it right. You know, the fact of the matter is, when the Constitution came out, people didn't understand that. And there were problems in the Constitution. We didn't say get rid of the Constitution. We fixed it.
But now, ObamaCare might have more problems on its hands, as the administration just awarded the controversial group Planned Parenthood more than $500,000 taxpayer dollars to help Americans sign up the health coverage. Joining us now from New York is Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman. Okay, Bernard, I have to remind people that Planned Parenthood already gets almost $500 million of separate money. They're going to get these things called navigator grants, and the money is spread out across the country, Bernard. But this comes on the heels of this GAO, the Government Accounting Office, nonpartisan investigation into the way Planned Parenthood spends taxpayer dollars after, in Texas, Planned Parenthood settled for $4.1 million these federal fraud charges over how it administers Medicaid. So given the fact that they're already under investigation for fraudulent billing and so forth, why the heck are we giving them $500,000 for ObamaCare navigation?
Because, Laura, the fact of the matter is Planned Parenthood is one of the most trusted providers of health care in this country. Every single year, they provide health care to over 3 million women. Half of them don't have insurance. 90% of the care that they provide is preventative care, wellness exams, pap smears, pelvic exams, mammograms that help save tens of thousands of women's lives, likely per year. And the fact that we're using Planned Parenthood, which women know, to ensure that millions of American women get access to the health care and health insurance they deserve makes perfect sense. It's actually probably one of the best uses of taxpayer dollars to ensure that this law is properly implemented and administered, and people take advantage of the health care benefits under the law.
Well, the fact that Planned Parenthood is under investigation currently by the federal government and has already admitted to federal fraud charges in that it settled civilly for $4.1 million. There are other cases in New York, especially, where Planned Parenthood was guilty of misfilings of prescriptions, needless billing for prescriptions that were apparently never administered, and that doesn't speak to all the investigations by Lila Rose into how Planned Parenthood deals with women who come into the clinic. It's nice to say, well, they provide all these services, but it's a highly controversial organization, given that it makes most of its money from the abortion procedure, Bernard, and is currently under federal investigation. The percentages don't apply to where it makes its bread and butter, which is through the abortion procedure. That's how it makes its money.
I would dispute several facts. Number one is I don't believe that the vast majority of dollars given to or generated by Planned Parenthood is through abortion. And I think it's actually quite sad.
326,000 abortions a year. Do the math.
I actually think it's quite sad that people who have a moral or religious opposition to contraception in this country, to a woman's right to choose, would prevent an extraordinary organization from delivering health care service that helps save women's lives. It's just not fair, and it's just not appropriate. And with respect to Texas, it's important to point out that these navigator grants are going to 3 states only. Texas is not one of them. So there is no chance that any Planned Parenthood dollars or taxpayer dollars are going to be funded to Planned Parenthood organizations which are decentralized in the state of Texas. It's not going to happen.
Which is currently under investigation by the federal government.
In Texas.
They have had to pay fines across multiple states for the way they do business and the way they conduct themselves and the way they bill for Medicaid.
The way they do business to help save tens of thousands of women's lives every single year.
First of all, let me just say they're not actually saving the lives of the 326,000 children who don't get to live after having visited a Planned Parenthood clinic.
That's a separate conversation on a women's right to choose.
Those children aren't living, and they're not part of this debate right now. But Bernard, it's always great to see you.
The women whose lives are being saved from proper abortions are.
The babies whose lives have not been saved would probably beg to differ, but we appreciate it. And when we come back,